everyone, welcome back to another Crimson Moon Battle Report. Today we are visiting the world of Mantic Games Dungeon Saga. We're playing the second scenario in the main rulebook of the Dwarf King's Quest. And today's heroes are going to be Madriga, which is the elf archer or elf ranger. And then we also have Danor, which is the human wizard. Now this scenario is going to introduce two new mechanics, which is going to be range combat and then also magic. So it's kind of the same. For range combat, you're just going to roll however many shooting dice you have. So for instance, Madriga is going to be rolling 4 dice, and depending on who you're shooting, they'll be rolling their armor, and you're just going to compare dice. And as long as you beat the roll of the enemy, you'll be scoring a hit. Same thing with magic. You'll be rolling whatever spell you're going to be using. For example, Flame Bolt. Flame Bolt has a 2 dice attack. This little insignia here means that they need line of sight. If it has an X through it, like that, that means he doesn't need line of sight. But for instance, Flame Bolt, you're going to be rolling 2 dice, and then you're going to be using the defense of the opponent that you're going to be trying to strike. Now, when you do cast spells, Flame Bolt, on the very top, it tells you the range of it, and if it's a minor or a major. If it's a minor, you're just going to rotate the spell counterclockwise, 90 degrees. A major spell, kind of like, I think it's Burn. Yeah, Burn is a major pyromancy spell. So major, when you cast major spells, you do it either counterclockwise or clockwise, but it has to go 180. So it would just be upside down. And at the end of each phase, you'll be turning it 90 degrees. So it's going to take you a full 2 turns in order to use Burn again. So you kind of have to make sure you cast them at the right time, because you will lose out on certain spells for at least 1 turn before it resets again. Then of course you have extra items. For this scenario, Danor starts with 3 energy crystals, and these crystals, you use them they're a one-time use. You can either add an additional die to a spell, or you can actually use it to recharge one of your spells by 90 degrees. So it's a really cool mechanic to use in case you want to try and get Burn out again, or cast it again before if you're really needing it. Another mechanic that we're going to be using in this game, in this particular scenario, is the ward for the doors. You can't just burst them down. You actually have to cast spells, which is what Danor does, and he's going to be the one that's going to have to actually open these doors. So Danor, in order to get these wards off, he will be casting Break Ward, and all you have to do is, it's a minor spell, so you can cast it every turn. All you have to do is you have to make sure you're adjacent to the door that you want to try and attempt to break the ward, and as long as you cast it, it automatically goes off, and it'll bring the ward down by 1. So it's going to take at least 2 turns to break this door down, 1 turn for that, 2 turns and actually to complete the whole mission. But that's pretty much it. The characters just have to reach this door in order to complete the mission and join the other 2 heroes that have already finished their quest, and that'll complete this quest itself. Now, usually when you're starting off a quest, there's certain parts of the map that you don't show. For this scenario, I just went ahead and set it up. That way it won't hamper too much of the video itself, and we can quickly go through the quest itself. So on this side over here, pretend this is not here just yet. This is all you're looking at, because technically you're supposed to be kind of like, oh, well, what's behind this door? So that's kind of like the intents and purposes of the whole kind of hiding what's behind door number 1, basically. And then for the Overlord, we've got his deck ready to go, and he will have his monsters to choose from. He's going to have 2 skeleton warriors that he can summon, as well as a skeleton archer, and already on the board we'll have 2 warriors already set up with some bone fragments that are going to be out, already ready to go. Okay, so without further ado, we'll go ahead and start turn 1. Alright, so let's go ahead and start up the game. We will be drawing 3 cards for the Overlord. He's got a Raise the Dead, 3 Raise the Dead, and 3 extra commands. Alright, so that's what he's going to be starting off at the end of the hero phase. For the first turn, we're going to go ahead and activate Danor. He is just going to move 1 to here so that he can get ready to open the door. Now he just has to be adjacent to it, so he's just going to cast Break Ward. So I'm going to turn this 90, and that's going to turn this from a 2 to a 1. Alright, so that is now a 1, so now it is going to go to Madriga, and she will just move up 2, and she is going to be facing straight, just in case the Overlord decides to raise the dead here. Alright, so that's going to be the hero's turn over. So we're going to flip these back over. Well, actually, that's at the end of the phase. So that means that now it is the Overlord's turn, and he's going to get to cast a spell. So he isn't going to cast that because there's only 3 there, because technically this side isn't here yet, so it's just this board here. So he's going to go ahead and do Raise the Dead, and he's going to go ahead and raise out of this pile of bones. Take that off. We're going to have a warrior spawn, and that is the end of his phase. And that is the end of turn 1. And now we will reset, and it will be the hero's activation. Okay, at the end of the phase, this should have turned clockwise, being ready for this next turn. So now, starting with Danor, he's going to go ahead and activate, and he is going to go ahead and cast his Break Ward spell again. So that's going to open this door, so that activates that. This door is now open, so that means that this would spawn. So now the Overlord now has control of these 2 creatures, and he can actually start spawning on these pile of bones as well. And actually, at the last turn, he should have drawn another card, because at the end of the phase, he draws 1 more. He gets 1 extra command. Okay, so now it's going to go to Madriga. She's going to activate, and she is actually just going to shoot this warrior before he activates. It is a long range, so we're going to get our long range marker. I believe this one is the short range. Actually, no, this is a long range. So that is within range, as you can tell, and there's nothing in the way. So then she is going to shoot. She has got a 4-die attack. We're going to say blue is going to be for the heroes, and then the skeleton warrior is going to have 2 for defense for his fighting. And she needs at least 3s or better to hit. Alright, so the 1s are going to go away. So now we're just going to match them all up, highest to lowest, or highest to highest. And looks like Madriga would be scoring 3 hits, because the 6 beats the 4. So 3 hits. That means it is destroyed. Remove the model for the skeleton warrior. So that means no pile of bones, and he is destroyed. Okay. So that means her activation is done. So the heroes are now finished. So now it will go to the Overlord, and he is going to go ahead now. He is going to go ahead and cast Raise the Dead. So that way he can spawn multiple creatures on those pile of bones. So we will do that. And actually, he can still activate as well. So he will activate, and he will create another skeleton warrior on that pile. He will create a skeleton warrior here, which have another warrior facing straight. And then he will create an archer on this spot right here. All right, so since these three just summoned, the only ones he'll be able to use is these two. So he is going to activate. He's got a movement of 4. So he will go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he will activate 1, 2, 3, 4. So he will go there. They are going to get ready to charge the heroes next turn. So at the end of the phase, he's going to go ahead and draw his card. He will get 2 raised dead, and the heroes will reactivate. We're going to go ahead and get them ready to go. The ward will turn 90 degrees. That will be ready, and we are going on to turn 3. Okay, so now we will activate Danor, and he's going to go ahead and move. So we will flip his activation. He is going to move his spots 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go here, and he is going to go ahead and cast his break ward so he can break this door down. Actually, he's got a lot of guys that are going to be coming his way. Let me rethink this. All right, so rather than having all these guys come in and bum rush the heroes, I think Danor is just going to go ahead and cast Feet of Stone. And what this does is it prevents the character he's casting it on from moving, and he's at -1 to his attack. So we will cast it on one of these warriors, so he will not be able to move this next turn for this round, and his attacks are at -1 for dice. All right, so then that marker will let us know that he has Feet of Stone, so he will not be able to move. So that is Danor's turn. So now we will go with Madriga, and she is going to go ahead and move because there's no reason for her to stay here to blast him. Let him come to us, because she's got a movement of 8, so she's pretty speedy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's going to move up, so that way if they do attack, they'll have to attack her first, and that'll leave Danor and a chance to go ahead and break the door down, hopefully next turn. So with her action, she's gonna go ahead and shoot, and she will shoot this guy that doesn't have Feet of Stone. So it's gonna be 4 dice attack with his 2 defense. And let's see if she can strike it home here. So feeble dice are gone, not a very good roll, but she gets those 2 that are gone. Now it's highest to lowest. Actually, she will score at least 1 hit, but that will unfortunately won't be good enough because 1 hit has no effect. So then she misses, and that's going to be her activation. So now that means it's going to go on to the Overlord. So the Overlord is going to go ahead and do. Well, he doesn't want to. Well, we'll do the extra command activation. So he'll be able to command 1 extra character. He'll have 2 activations, so we will actually activate this warrior. 1, 2, and he will strike Madriga. So he will have his 2 die attack for his attack, and Madriga only has a 3 for combat dice. So now let's take a look and see what they get. So feeble dice, Madriga has an armor of 2, so the 1's definitely gonna miss, and actually she's gonna block it off. So 5 will beat the 4, and nothing like there, so she actually defends very well there. So second attack, since he cannot move, he will activate the archer, and the archer will move like so to there. I believe they have long range for shooting, so he will be able to shoot at Danor. So he will blast Danor. He's gonna have 2 dice, and Danor only has combat 2 dice. So man, this might be trouble for Danor. Let's see what kind of good roll he gets. Actually not bad. He does score 2, but Danor does beat that 6, and these are just gonna cancel out, so no hits. All right, good job, Danor. He blocked that. So now with his third activation, the Overlord is just gonna move this warrior and try and move up. Movement of 4, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So now he's got an extra buddy. So I believe that means that Madriga is gonna be at -1 die. All right, so after looking at the rules, it is indeed -1 to her combat die. So she's going to be rolling 2, and the skeleton will be having his 2 dice attack, because she is outnumbered. And we'll get rid of the feeble die, which for sure the 1's going to miss. But hey, Madriga is going to actually block it off, because she got a 6 beating the 5, and then the 3 is just going to be just nothing. So actually, we have held up the incoming onslaught here, but these guys need to get the heck out of dodge. So that's going to be the end of that turn. The Overlord will be drawing 1 card, which is an extra command, and Danor will have his activations reactivate, and Feet of Stone is going to move 90, and that means that at the end of this turn, this will go away. And that is the end of the 4th turn. Actually, the end of the 3rd turn, I'm sorry. And now we're going on to the 4th. All right, so on to turn 4. Danor is going to go ahead and activate. So we will go ahead and flip his activation marker. And he is going to go ahead and cast Flame Bolt to help out Madriga. And he's going to burn one of his crystals to add an additional die to the Flame Bolt. So he'll be rolling 3 dice. We will target this skeleton warrior. He will have his 2 dice. And let's see if he can't help out Madriga here. Looks like those are going to go away. And actually, no, he does not get it. The defense holds up. He's going to get 1 hit. The hit's just going to be discarded because it has no effect. All right, so that is Danor's turn. So now it's going to go into Madriga, and she is going to go ahead and just fight. Well, she moves to have an opportunity. Well, I guess, yeah, why not? She's going to try and break away. Now, in breakaway, they can attempt to break away as long as they have an empty space to go to, but these 2 characters are going to get free strikes on the character. So that means when she moves to here, we will roll just like a normal fight. He will get his 2 attacks, and Madriga will get her 2 defense, because technically she's still being outnumbered there. And let's see if they don't score any hits. Okay, so actually looks like she breaks away just fine there. Actually, the 2 is a fail because that's a feeble. So she defends that successfully. So now she's going to take 1 more strike from that character. And oh wow, she really got away with that one. All these are feebles, and she just successfully dodges out. So she's going to move to here. So now she's going to shoot, and she will shoot the one right in front. So she will have her 4 dice compared to the 2. So the 2s are going to go away because those are all feeble dice, but she will get 2 hits, and that means that this will fall to a bones, pile of bones for 2 hits. Place a model with a pile of bone counter. So they successfully at least got 1 hit, but that is the end of the activation for them. So now it's going to go to the Overlord, and he is going to start. He is going to go ahead and do 1 extra command so that he can activate 3 characters. For this, oh whoops, we don't draw that till the end of the phase. So for this scenario, he was only able to activate 2 characters, and of course his commands give him abilities to strike more. But this warrior is going to move. He's going to move to there, and he is going to go ahead and strike Madriga. And this time he's actually outnumbered, so he's outnumbered, but you never roll less than 2 dice. So he's still gonna have his 2. Madriga's gonna have 3. So let's see, the feeble one is gone. We got 2 3s, which cancel out, and then the 5's gonna beat the 3. So Madriga actually successfully defended. So for his second action, this warrior's gonna move up. And he's actually gonna strike at Danor. Danor only has 2 combat dice, and now it's all evened up. So, oh, looks like Danor's gonna take a damage here. So he gets 1 strike in, that blocks off, but he does get a hit, 1 more hit, and he's actually gonna be injured, which means that he rolls less dice on his activation. Okay, so for the extra, he doesn't have line of sight, so he's just gonna activate him and start trying to get over here to help his buddies. 2, 3, 4. He's gonna make his way, and actually that's gonna be the end of the turn because he doesn't want to waste the 2 raise the dead just yet. So he's gonna draw his card for the final turn. Extra command. These will flip. And then Stone's gonna re-energize as well as Flame Bolt. And that's gonna be the end of the phase. So we will go on to turn 5. Doesn't look very good for the heroes. They are being outnumbered, and these guys are ranged, so doesn't look very good. We'll see what happens. All right, so the beginning of turn 5, and Danor is going to go ahead and activate, and he's going to go ahead and cast Burn. So we are going to make that as such, showing that he is casting it. He's going to be rolling 4 dice, and he will be casting it on the Skelly that is in front of him. So let's see if he can, you know what? He's going to go ahead and pop another one of his his shards. So we're going to add an additional die because we really need that guy dead. We don't need him to be slouching around here. So here we go. So feeble dice, the 2's gonna miss. We'll have a hit, followed by a block, a hit, followed by another block, and then 2 more successes, a 4 and a 3. So that means that he's gonna take 2 hits, and that's gonna leave another pile of bones. So down goes this Skelly, and a pile of bones will be left behind. And since he already attacked, Danor cannot activate again. He cannot move because you have to do your move and then do your action. So now it's going to go to Madriga. Madriga is going to go ahead and punch using 3 combat dice and then 2 for the Skelly. And maybe she'll get lucky here and try and take this one out. A lot of evil dice, but hey, she did get 2 hits. She got a 6 and a 3. So that's going to be enough to crumple that Skelly. So down he goes. So now we're going to be left with bones. Oops, kind of knocked him out of the way. And so that's going to be the hero's turn. So now it's going to go to the Overlord. And Overlord, whoops, we forgot to draw a card for him. Should have drawn one at the end of the last turn. So we have 2 extra commands, 2 raise dead, and 3 extra commands. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and raise dead, because we definitely want to go ahead and pop up 2 guys. Of course, there's going to be free attacks here. So it's going to be the warrior popping up here. So first free strike is going to be Madriga, and see if he can't take it down. So the 2s are feebles. He just get a free whack. So actually it's going to be 2 hits. So back down, that Skelly is going to go. All right. So now we're going to raise this one with the same guy and see if Actually, they're both going to get a strike again. So Madriga is going to go ahead and strike. She'll still get a free strike. That's a feeble. And actually, she only gets one hit. 2 6s. That's going to block. Actually, it's going to block both. So she fails. So now it's Danor's strike. So he's got 2 for combat dice. 2 on 2. Whoops. Let's redo that. Should have been 2 blue and 2 white. Here we go. There we go. All right. So feebles, and the Skelly's going to block that. All right. So one of them did survive. Of course, he can't do anything because he just resurrected. So now we're going to go on to activations, which we don't want to spend any extras because we only have 2 Skellies on the board, but we do have him moving. 2, 3, 4. He could go move to there, and he's going to go ahead and strike. So he's going to have his 2 attacks and combat dice for Madriga. It's going to be 3. Oh, that's not a good roll. So Madriga is going to take 1 hit. Actually, she's going to take 2 hits. So she's going to successfully hit, but no matter how many successes you have, they only ever take 1 damage. So Madriga is going to take a damage. So now we're moving on to the archer, who is just going to move to there, and then he's going to take a shot at Madriga as well. So actually accidentally messed up. They're supposed to have 3 shots for the archery instead of 2. So I rolled 1 less die last time. So this time around, I got it right. So now let's see if Madriga can live, which looks like she will because these 2 ones are feebles. And then we have her blocking the 5, and then that blocks the rest of it. So that is going to be the end for the Overlord. He's just going to draw a card, which will be 1 extra command for next turn. So now that is the end of turn 5, and now our heroes are going to have to try and figure out a way to get out of dodge and try and get through these doors. So on to turn 6. All right, beginning of turn 6. We're going to go ahead and shift burn to 90 degrees. Kind of getting ready for the next activation. So here we're going to go ahead and do Danor. Danor is just going to go ahead and break ward. We need to try and break this door. So that's going to open it. And now we're going to have Madriga go ahead and blast. Or actually punch the Skelly that's in front of Danor. So let's go ahead and do the combat, which is 3 dice, 2 for the Skelly. And come on, Madriga, you need to go ahead and get this guy out. Not like that. So actually that is just a dud. Nothing goes on there. And the hero's turn is over. So on to the Overlord. And wow, he's got nothing but extra commands. So he's going to go ahead and spend the 1 extra so he can actually activate all 3 of the Skellies. So we'll start with him striking. So I have 2 dice, 3 for Madriga. Oh, nice. Madriga's going to block both. 2 6s and a 5. That's a feeble. So that is it for him. Now the other Skelly is going to strike Danor. And it's going to be 2 on 2. And looks like Danor will suffer a hit. So he's going to take a damage. So that is actually going to put him in the injured reserve, in the injured. So that means that he will be rolling 1 less die. And then we're going to have the arrow archer blast Madriga. So Madriga will have 3 combat dice, and she will have, so it'll be 3 on 3. Drop die. 3 on 3. Here we go. That was a really solid hit. So it's going to be another hit going into Madriga. 2 is a feeble. So yeah, Madriga's gonna take another damage. So 1 more, and actually she's already injured now. Yep, because she has taken her 2. So the Overlord successfully has wounded our heroes. So that is going to be the end of his turn. He's going to draw another command card, 2 extra commands. And that is going to be the end of turn 6. And let's see what happens in turn 7. Alright, beginning of turn 7. Our spells are going to reactivate, so they're energized. Heroes are all ready to go. So we're going to activate Danor. Danor is just going to go ahead and try and break away. So let's see his free strike. It's going to be 2 on 2. Nothing but feeble. He's going to get smacked. So he's going to take another damage. He's down to 2 wounds left, but he does get to move. He moves 7. He's going to be right there. And now what he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and cast his ward, break ward, and this is going to break down to from a 2 to a 1. Whoops. So they're that far away from trying to get something going here. So Madriga is going to go ahead and try and break away as well. So she will be outnumbered. So she's just going to have 2 defense dice, and it'll be 2 attack dice for the enemies. So, oh my gosh, man, these guys are getting whooped. So it's another damage to Madriga. So she is only down to 2, and now this Skelly is going to take his strike. And no, she still takes another damage. She's going to be down to 1. So now she is going to break away. She moves 8. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's backed up to a corner. Now she's going to try and see if she's within range to take a shot. And she is. From base to base, she's going to go ahead and strike that Skelly. So she's rolling 1 less die because she's injured. So it's going to be only 3. 2 defense dice for the Skelly. Man, these Skellies are on point. They are blocking it all. That's a feeble, and they block it. And that's going to be the end of our hero phase. So now it's the Overlord phase. They're going to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're right up in her face again. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. She doesn't quite make it. And we're going to cast, he's going to go ahead and play an ability. He's just going to spend the 2 to go ahead and move this Skelly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually his other Skelly buddy is in the way, so he won't be able to take a shot. That's going to be the end of the Overlord's turn. So we're going to go ahead and draw a card, and it will be 1 extra command. I guess all the raised dead already all come up, so all the extra commands are coming out now. But that's going to be the end of turn 7, and man, this is it. Let's hope our heroes can survive. Alright, so I completely forgot to strike with this Skelly when he moved up on Madriga, so let's go ahead and do that. So it's going to be 2 dice on 2. Even though he's outnumbered, he doesn't get any lower than 2. And let's hope Madriga can survive this fight. And she does. She blocks it. Those are all feeble. So she is okay. Alright. So now on to the next turn. Okay, so turn 8, and we're going to have to pull a very cheeky move here. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate Danor. He is going to cast Burn on this fella here. So that's going to be 4 dice, and he is going to go ahead and pop his final shard because we really need this guy dead. in order for this to work. So that means he's gonna have 5 dice going on 2. And let's hope that Danor can take him out. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pop his ability. He's gonna be able to cast 2 major spells. So he's gonna cast Burn first. So he's still gonna have his 5 because he's still gonna burst the shard. So 2, 4, 5, and then 2 dice for the skelly. And he's gonna be able to cast 1 more major spell. So let's hope he can take this guy out right here. Looks like he did it. Those are feebles. The 4 is gonna go to the 6. The 3 is gonna go to the 6, and then the 4 is gonna hit. So he completely destroyed that skelly. Good job, Danor. So he takes him out. So now what he's gonna do is he's gonna cast Feet of Stone on this fella. So Feet of Stone has been cast, and this is his one-time special feat. So he can't do anything else. He can't move, but he can cast up to 3 major spells, but he only has 2, so that's the only 2 he's gonna cast. So now he's got that taken care of. So he is done for the turn. So now it's Madriga, and Madriga is gonna go ahead and do her special feat. Hail of Arrows. She may shoot 3 times in the same turn. Resolve each shot before deciding on the next target. So she's rolling 3 dice because she's hurt instead of 4, and she's gonna shoot him first. Actually, he should have line of sight to him. So if she measures from there to there, yeah. So we're gonna shoot there first in hopes that we can take him out. And she only gets a hit. Actually, she gets nothing. So second shot, she's gonna shoot him again. And once again, the skelly is blocking like a champ. All right, so now he can't do anything. So third shot, he's gonna strike him again because he needs to take him out. And there we go, we got him. So the 1's a feeble, the 5 and the 3 are gonna go through. That's gonna block that, but he's still gonna take 2 damage. That's gonna turn him into a pile of bones. He's right behind there. So she is done. So now that is all the heroes' turn. So now it's gonna go to the Overlord. Overlord can't move him because he has Feet of Stone, and he doesn't have any way to stop the heroes for this turn. So that's gonna be the end of turn 8. All right, so at the end of last round, these would have turned 90. This would have re-energized. And the Overlord would have drawn another card because there's no limit to how many he can have in his hand. So he would have an extra command. So this is pretty much going to be the end of the game because all we have to do is just pop this open. Danor would activate. He would go ahead and do his Break Shard, which would pop this, and that would open the door, and that is all they needed to successfully complete the mission. So Danor and Madriga escape with their lives, but just being down to only 1 health, being down to only 2 health. I did forget Madriga did have a potion. She could have healed at least once, but that's all right, no big deal. And that's going to be pretty much the end of scenario 2. Well, technically a scenario, it's kind of like a prelude so we can learn the game. So that's going to be pretty much the end of the learning game. So now on the next mission, we're actually going to be playing the actual first scenario of the dungeon. So I'll be hoping to get that out as soon as I can. I need to paint up a couple of more guys just so I can have the dungeon ready. And hopefully I'll be able to paint up some of the terrain too, because I want to try that out on the board itself. Even though it's a little cluttered, but hopefully it's not too bad because I'll be using the bigger boards. But yeah, I want to try and see I can't get some of that terrain painted up and have it on the board to make it look a little more cooler, because I mean the boards themselves look really nice. But that's going to be pretty much it for this battle report. Also, I don't know if you guys are aware, but maybe check out the Mantic website. They do have the new Dungeon Saga Origins that's going to be coming out pretty soon. It's going to go to a Kickstarter first. I know we're pretty excited about it. It looks really cool. The new models look great. The new designs. Looks like it's going to be using almost the same game mechanic as the original. But I mean, the original is good enough. I mean, I don't know. We've really been enjoying playing this game. And we look forward to that new one coming out. And also the new cards look really cool. But we're going to continue running more of this, of the original Dungeon Saga, because we've had a lot of people asking us when the next episode is going to come out. And hey, we finally got to it. And I'm super happy that we're able to finish it up and bring it to you guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Please feel free to message us down below and post anything maybe you saw wrong. Or even if you just liked the video, if you thought it was great, that's awesome, because that gives us more inspiration to continue doing what we're doing and bringing you more videos and bringing you more content. And of course, I mean, don't forget to like it, because that gives us like, hey, they want to watch more of this. So we definitely want to bring you more content that you guys want to watch. But other than that, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Don't forget, always paint your walls crimson.